If you are joining us here for the first time, we welcome you. This is Book Club, and we're here every other Saturday to read the books. If you are joining us here for the first time, we welcome you. This is Book Club, and so we're here to read book, guys. A little bit, we figured out that the problem is we don't read. I went to somebody's office 2 days ago. We are talking about empowering and learning things. And he saw the book I have. He said, "Oh, I have this book in my shelf." I said, "That is correct. Have you opened it for once?" He said, "No." I said, it's not a matter of having the book, but it's a matter of what? Walking through the books. My daughter said, "Mommy, I love to read because when I'm reading, I fly the world that I have not been to. I see it and imagine it, and I have fun." Right? He has the book on his shelf. He has it. But guess what? That book can change his life forever, but he has never opened a page. Just think about that for a moment. And that is the gap we're trying to close, is to being able to read and empower ourselves. So I'm going to make some people co-host this morning to help us. Miss Becky, thank you for always being here. Okay. Thank you for your presence. I don't take it for granted. I'm going to make Miss Pat Amaka a co-host all the way from Minnesota. Thank you for joining us to read. Okay. So help us to put eye on the screen to make sure that we are in order. Okay. Let me see who else on the screen. Torrance, I'm going to make you a co-host. Okay. That you can put your eye on the screen. Now, welcome to the first Saturday of the month. Who is willing? Who is excited like me that wants to pray for us? Please raise your hand. I will mute you. Okay. Anyone here who wants to pray for us? I just want to see your hand up. Okay. All right. So, all right, sir, go ahead. Tell us your name, where you're calling in from. Ekoloni, go ahead. All right, you can unmute yourself. Leonard, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Where are you calling in from, sir?
I'm calling from Texas, Little.
All right, go ahead and pray for us.
So let's pray. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Father, in the mighty name of Jesus, King of glory, Lord God, as we begin to study, Lord God, everything we study in these books, it will stick in our brain, and not just stick in our brain, we'll put it into practice, Lord God, in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, Lord God, let everything that we study here, let this thing go successfully, and let us be able to put in the work and more and keep on moving forward. Thank you, Lord Jesus. We cover each and every one of us with the precious blood of Jesus. For in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for that wonderful prayer. Once again, we have over 195 people here, and we're so grateful you have come to read. You know why I'm so fascinated about that? I don't know whether it's your son or your child or your daughter that will marry my child. And I want to make sure that anyone coming into my house is empowered. Okay? They're empowered they're eligible to be in my house based on the book they know, not based on the academics that is in their brain. Okay, that's why I get excited when I see the number of people who are here ready to read. So if there are your friends, your family members who you want to invite, at least give them a gift for the next 4 months. That gift is, please come, let's read together. Okay. Now that being said, disclaimer: this is book club. We are social club. We're here to read. We're not representing any organization. We're not representing any company. We're not representing any author. We just want to read. And if you're here to read means You have consented to be part of this. Share your experiences, share your mind. Try not to call company's name, okay? Just be general in your thought process. Whatever you share is okay. But also be willing to accept other people's opinion and perspective, knowing that we all are coming from different exposures, okay? So let's have fun, let's write. All right, the book we're reading, which I love, is Bottom Dollar, okay? So if you look at this book, you would think that the author and David McKnight was in the same room when they were talking, all right? But I have looked at IRS page, the government rules. I am also a licensed financial professional, so I know the law, and that's why I was able to validate that this book, okay, can make a contribution to our lives. Now, as a reader, what is your responsibility? Pick the things that pertain to you, tease it out. The ones you think that is not relevant to you at the moment, still read it, know it, but keep it aside. All right? That's what makes you a reader. So who wants to read with us? We are in page 28. Page 20. We're in page 20. Okay, I think hold on, let me unmute people. Please, I want everybody to mute themselves, okay, if you're not speaking. But if we start beginning to get noise, then I will mute everybody, okay? All right. Who wants to read?
I can read.
All right, tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
My name is Bosse from Dallas, Texas.
All right, boss, so we're going to start from where it says, let's imagine you have $1 million. Page 20. Now, before you go, boss, before you go, did anybody work on their financial profile? Did anybody work on their financial profile?
I did.
You did? Did you say you did, Miss Bosse?
I did, but I left it somewhere.
You left it somewhere, right? You didn't finish it up, but at least you started, correct? So the little one you have done, what is your experience? What is your brain telling you? Man, is that really? What was the experience?
Looking through it, because I was using what is called PFR. So I was looking at the financial need. So I saw that I'm still
So what is
very
PFR? We can hear you.
don't let me put that.
Personal financial review.
Personal financial personal financial review.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Looking through it, when I was using it to compare to this book, I saw that I need a lot of education.
And you were just born yesterday, right? You've been on earth only since yesterday, right? Can you imagine that? Huh? You need a lot of education. That's a good thing. You are able to identify something. There's a gap. Okay. Your responsibility now is to do what? Is to go close the gap. Right?
Yes.
That's why you're here. I'm happy you did that. Did any other person look at their financial pro? We're going to talk about this every time because we're here to fix one thing, our mindset. Number one. Number two, to take ownership of our own finance. Okay, to be the driver on the driver's seat. That is our second goal. And of course, number three, to achieve financial freedom based on changing your mindset and be the owner for your own finance. That is the goal of all this. All right. And making sure we transfer the same knowledge to our next generation. Cultivating the habit of reading, exploring, asking questions. Ask uncomfortable questions. Ask uncomfortable questions. Know that you remember one of the books we read in the past said the professionals, the CPAs, accountant, financial advisor, financial analyst, you're not working for them. They are working for you. But you can only know they are working for you when you take the rightful position, the ownership you're supposed to take. But where the person you hire to work for you is not controlling you, now you are in danger. Because by the time you know it, it's too late. It's completely too late. So that's what the goal of this book is, for us to read, to change our mindset, Move from mindset from A to B. Use the mindset, analyze our financial world, create a family financial culture. See what? That is why I don't like to meet people. Create a family financial culture. What is culture? Culture is something that you transfer from generation to generation. You cannot create a culture that you're not in charge of. Okay?
How did you
You
get that?
cannot create a culture you're not in charge of. So we're trying to create family financial culture, and nobody can do it for you. That's the purpose of this. So, Miss Bola, thank you so much for doing that. Okay.
Yeah, because
Definitely, by the time you get the knowledge, you will see that you will create a strong family financial culture that generations to come, your children will look back and appreciate this time you're sacrificing to get more knowledge. Because whatever you learn, your children will never make mistake on it again. You all know that, right? All right. Whatever you correct and fix the foundation, no matter what the tornado will come. Guys, there are so many financial tornadoes that exist. Taxes is one. Lack of knowledge, procrastination, okay? Personal issues, environmental issues. These are all tornadoes. How are you fixing it? Because the government can fix so many things, but you are responsible to fix most financial tornadoes that will come your way. It will come. But if you are the owner, you will be the leader in times of crisis. Ownership prepares you to be a leader in times of crisis. So that's what reading books and engaging your financial profile, guys. We have an assignment. Everybody here, we have an assignment. The assignment is for you to go do what? Do your financial profile. Look at your finance. Place them on tax today, tax later, and tax free. Okay? And balance them. I know there are all these theories out there and say, oh, put all your money in mutual fund. There is no right or wrong. It's only you that determine based on what, where are you? What do you want to accomplish? Tax today, tax later, and tax free. You have to balance it. You also have to look at which of them comes with what? Uninterrupted compounding. Uninterrupted compounding. Because if you find your finance in an interrupted compounding environment, now you're bound to lose, because at some point you're not going to hold anybody accountable for any money you lose. Nobody's going to do that for you. Only you can do it. At least the law, the environment allows you to have at least 20% of your annual income to your tax-free bucket. At least. You can start it. You can do more. But you can tell yourself, if the law allows you up to 20% of your annual income in a tax-free, especially protection portfolio, why not leverage that? Now that you're young, now you are able to reason, to think, your cognitive functions is in order. Why don't you be the owner in that area? All right. Thank you. Anybody else that did the financial profile? Anyone else? Guys, do this assignment. You can't run away from it though. That is one of the way you take ownership. If you don't even know what you have, you don't know where they are, how are you going to engage in paradigm shift? How are you going to engage in accountability? It starts from you knowing your current situation. You don't even have anything. You don't even have anything. There's no problem. At least now you know you don't have nothing. But not knowing that you don't have nothing is the biggest problem too. It's a big deal. So start from knowing. When you know, you're able, now you have identified where your loopholes are. What are you going to do? That's when you can now put a plan in place. A plan in place to fix it now. Okay? Good, good, good. So, Ms. Bola, go ahead with the reading.
Let's imagine you have 1 million saved in 401k or IRA for your retirement that is earning 10% each year. with 100K every year in interest, you should be able to live pretty comfortably and do all the things you want to do in retirement. But we must consider income taxes and inflation. 25 to 30 years down the road, 100K will not have as much buying power as it does today. The annual inflation today is at 6.2% and rising. The website is there. If you think this is the biggest obstacle of this account, think again. It's actually taxes. When we look at what most Americans pay in federal and state taxes, they are in the 25 to 30% tax bracket. For my example, I will use a 27 tax bracket. At this rate, how much will you need to pull from your 401k to net 100K? It will be 137 because 27% will have to go towards paying taxes. The higher the tax bracket you are in, the more you need to pull to net 100K. Does that make sense? So, looking at our 1 million example above, if you are to take 137K per year and your money was only earning 100K, it will take 12 to 13 years for you to run out of money. Even if you decide to take out less, you will continue to be taxed on that 401k and IRA. I have a question for you. Do you think taxes are likely to go down, stay the same, or go up? Be aware of hidden agenda, the enterprise. Based on this answer, you can see how much of a problem this is causing for people. America is currently in the most debt they have ever been in, with inflation on the rise. And the people wonder why tax defer is so mainstream. It is because the government pushes it, knowing we are building them a nice large tax net egg in the amount of trillions of dollars. How do these facts make you feel about the future of your retirement in this type of plans? Market risk. One of the biggest misconceptions the traditional financial industry pushes is where the market losses. Your money will come back. Make sure you read the average versus actual chapter to see how this one is one of the biggest lies told to us. In this account that are supposed to be there for us when we are older, they have so much volatility. If you look at the definition of volatility, it means liability to change rapidly and unpredictably, especially for the worse. In the chapter below, using an example of a one-time 100K contribution, you can see that SP 500 went down 3 years consecutively from 2000 to 2002. Did the money come back? Yes, absolutely, after 5 years. Then in 2008, the SP 500 crashed 38.49%, wiping out all the previous 5 years of that growth. It then took another 5 years to rebound. Do you see the pattern? And then you will need to consider income taxes. No wonder why these strategies are failing. The chart is on the next one. What about my match? There are many ways a company might match into a 401k for employee. One of the most common is 50 cents on the dollar you put to 6% of the employee's pay. Some will match dollar for dollar, up to a maximum of 3%. For example, if you make 100K per year and contribute up to 6%, that means you will save 6,000 per year and the employer will add 3,000 per year. Over a 30 years period, if this example remain unchanged, your employer will have added 90,000 into your account, which also should grow with compounding interest. It will also loosen down market because the entire account track the chosen index. If you are utilizing the traditional 401k, you would then need to pay income taxes at each withdrawal. You think you will end up paying more taxes than what your employer gave? The math is always point to yes. When you receive a match in a Roth 401k, the match is provided tax deferred. You, the employee, must pay taxes on the match money. Now, why do you think your employer is willing to give a match and then won't pay the taxes on your Roth 401k match? Because they receive a tax write-off for every dollar they place into your account and all the other employees' accounts. So you sit here and take all the risk, pay all the fee, take the market hit when if they hit and pay all the taxes in retirement, why they get a write-off? Pay none of the taxes, none of the fee, take none of the risk. And we look at the match like they are doing us a favor. Rule of thumb: contribute to the match if you like 401k, and the rest, keep reading. I hope this chapter brings you tons of value and understanding around why this plan could potentially build a good nest egg. But when you look at how much you will actually be able to live off, these are not good for retirement cash flow. Is the purpose of this plan cash flow? Oh, but they are not delivering. There is a concept called the 4% rule. And this is the industry standard for how you will be able to withdraw over a 30-year time frame to safely ensure you do not outlive your money. This is now being reduced to 3%.
Go ahead.
I was muted.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
There is a concept called 4% rule. And this is the industry standard for how you will be able to withdraw over a 30-year time frame to safely ensure you do not outlive your money. This now has been reduced to a 3% rule due to inflation and taxes. There is a solution to this issue, and this book will guide you in making a solid decision towards your financial future.
Awesome. Awesome. Now let's talk about that, guys. I think that chapter brought out what most of the middle class Americans and Canadians are suffering, right? The first thing first that it touches on this part was what? Inflation, the market risk. Most people you hear or you see around your neighborhood, around your peers, oh, I work with company A. They have the best benefit in the world. How many of you have heard that before? Oh, do you know they fly me to Jamaica? They give me retirement account. Guys, there's something I want to remind us that there are two types of retirement that exist here. You have the defined contribution and the defined benefit plan. America has been in defined benefit plan for so many years until they wake up and they're looking for how can we benefit the employers, not you, the employee. How can we increase our economics, economic standards so that these people will be in business? They created the 401ks, the 403, the 457. These accounts were not really meant to be a retirement account. It was meant to supplement. You can go read it yourself. It was meant to supplement. And now, most organizations have moved away from defined benefit plan, which the employer is held accountable. They're in charge, they risk, they pay all the fees. They move into defined contribution plan, which 401k is one of them, 403b, TSP, all of them to some level. Now, they will match you 10%, 6%. Where I used to work before I retired from corporate America, they were matching me 6%. So if I'm making 100,000, by the way, that's what they increased my salary to 101 after 12 years. Okay? So it's going to be that 6% or 6,000 small change. Now they pay their own 6,000 small change. But here's the difference according to the author and according to what I know. Okay? The difference is that their 6%, which is their 6,000 every year, is what? Is a tax write-off. So if they have 100 employees, 6,000 times 100 is what? Guys, you have helped somebody. You went to school, you graduated, you got a job because that was what you were preached for. Get a job. You go to school, get a good grade, get a good job. Life is good. There's nothing wrong in going to school. The only thing that is wrong is getting the job. Journey of the broke. Right? Now, that is a beginning point. You can start there. Are you going to end there? No, if you end there, it's not a problem. It's now a big problem for you. But you can start there because you have to learn how to work with people, how to manage organization. Okay? And the best way to learn is to work in that area of interest, correct? Now, they said they're going to match you. That's $6,000 a year. Times it by 100 employees, 200 employees, 300. That is what the employer is getting at a write-off. Some people don't even match. Some organizations don't even match. And what they preach is, so you can, in the future, your taxes will be low. Do you know what the taxes are going to be in the future? Nobody knows. Whether it's low, whether it's high, guess what? They are fine. Do you see what we're talking about ownership? They are not responsible for that retirement, contributory retirement account. They are not responsible for it. You are. Ownership. If the market goes up, it doesn't matter what they contribute. It doesn't matter what you contribute. Both of them will go down. If the market goes down. If the market goes up, fine, you make money. The market goes down, guess what? You lose the same money. Like the book said, and I was sharing it with people yesterday. You lost money, 2008, over 34%. How long is it going to take? What if you're retiring at that year that the market went down by 34%? And you already built your net that you're going to retire with 100,000 and have 1 million. If you have 1 million and you go by 4% rule, you need 100,000 every year and you need to take out 137,000. How long will the 1 million last? Somebody help me. Let's do the math. You need to take out 137, including the tax, for example, and you have 1 million. How long will that last? Mathematicians, let's go.
The book says 12 to 13 years for you to run out of money.
Okay. What is the book correct? Let's see. Who can tell us whether the book is correct or not?
It's 7 years.
No, it's not going to reach 12 to 13 years.
It's 7 years. 1 million divided by 137. It's 7.
It's 7
years.
Let's call it 7 years.
7 years and 2 months.
Do you see why? Pay attention. Do you know that most people retire actually come back to work around that 5-7 years max? Just think about it. Look back. Think back. Those people that have retired, they are back to work. Now, the easy work for them to do is what? Uber. I went to North Carolina. I entered the Uber. Who was my Uber driver? A 75-year-old man. Even my own life is in danger. The passenger he's carrying is in danger. Because he can sleep off. He's not supposed to be behind that steering at that moment. But it has to be because the reality of the retirement have set in. Guys, that is the nature of where we are. That's the nature of the middle class we are. Can you fix it? Yes, you can. But you can't fix what you don't know. 7 years, you're 1 million. Go to your friend. Oh, I have 1 million in retirement. 7 years, 1 million is gone. Now you'll be forced to come back. Some people say, oh, I don't have problem. Remember, there's this training, this theory. Buy this and invest this. or pay off your mortgage. Put in a little bit extra in what you're paying. It's fine. Pay it off. But do you know, the day you can't pay the taxes, what happened? The house you bought for over $1 million, somebody can foreclose it just because of common taxes of 10,000, 20,000, because you don't have it. Guys, this is the system. You don't have to believe it, though. It's all yours. You don't have to believe it, but that is the reality on ground. And so many authors we have come across are talking about it. Hopefully that you will be able to take the knowledge to feed your children. Maybe it's too late for you. Maybe you're retired. You can't do much. But can you gather your children and say, come, listen. I don't care what you think you know, but I need you to listen to me right now and fix your portfolio so you don't make the same mistake and find yourself where I am today. Because you will not know the difference, especially when you're contributing. Wait until you walk away from that contribution. You will see the danger. Guys, you are helping your employer to make more money as an employee. You're helping your employer to make more money. You're helping them to create tax write-off. I didn't say that they are doing you wrong. It's a choice. You are the one that kept yourself that nobody did. But while you're there, can you begin to plan your exit? Can you say, I also want to go and set up something where I will do what? Create my own write-off. You have the right to do so. But you cannot do so when you don't have financial intelligence. Because if you walk away without having enough financial intelligence, it will be worse where you're going to than where you are. Better stay where you are. That's what Robert Kiyosaki said. Remember the four cash flow quadrant. For those of you that read books, okay? The fourth cash flow quadrant. I love it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it somewhere. Okay? Just give me a second right quick. Let me see if I can find it. I used to have it somewhere. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it anywhere. No. When I find it, I will let you know. Before the end of the day, somebody remind me. Okay, let me not hold this whole stage here. Okay? But the four quadrants, cash flow quadrant. The first one is have a job. Second one is own a job. If you don't have enough financial intelligence, if your intelligence is not there, you're just riding because others are riding. You don't want to own the job. The worst thing to do is to own a job. Rather have the job. When you have the job, you can let go at any time. You can wake up and say, I don't want to go to work today. You're on your own. You can call in. You can disappear. But when you own a job, that's solopreneur. Doctor's office, nurse practitioner office, trucking business, financial services, sitting down, okay? And all that. When you own the job, what happens? There's no vacation for you. There's no vacation. And now you own the job. You don't have the financial intelligence. Guess what? You have not put in place some of those financial tools that you need that your employer was enjoying over there. You quickly walked away without putting in place things that will help you do the same thing. If you're not there, stay where you are. Have the job, okay? Until you think you have what it takes to enjoy the same thing your employer is enjoying.
I can share that if you want me to share the whole quadrant.
Okay, please share it for me. I just need that Robert Kiyosaki and cash flow quadrant.
Okay. Can you allow me to share?
Oh, let me see. Let me see. Who is speaking? I can't even see.
It's David.
Oh, okay. All right, sir.
Let's see if I can raise my hand. All right.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. David. You can share now. Okay. All right, my people. Look at that. Okay. The first one is you have a job. A job. You have it. When you have the job, you're exchanging your time for money. It's okay. It could be a starting point, but what does this say? It says 5% wealth, 5%, okay, can be created. But what I want to bring out here is having the job. When you have a job, you can let go. You can decide not to work again. You can call in. You can lie and do anything. But look at this one. Below is self-employed. Robert Kiyosaki said it's the most dangerous place to be. Why? You own a job. You own it. Everything that your employer is doing, you own. Every board room meeting, everything is you. You own it. But you're also exchanging your time for money because you are the system. You have to be present. Any day you close your door, guess what? You're broke. There's no money coming in. There's no vacation. So what I'm trying to say is this. If you don't have enough financial intelligence, do not walk away from having the job to owning the job. Because that is the most dangerous place to be. If you want to own the job, first of all, get the basic financial knowledge. How does the system work? Understand all these portfolios we are talking about. Because most people that are self-employed also have the same 401k. The question I have, why is it that the first thing they're coming to offer you is solo 401k, self IRA, simplify IRA? What is it? Are there other options you have? You can only own those options if you have the self-education, self-awareness, financial education that you determine and tell them what to set up for you. But when you don't have it, my brothers and my sisters, owning a job is not the best place to be because that's what they call solopreneur. You are the system. That's why middle-class Americans, Canadians have not really gone up because when they move away from having a job, they want to own, they have the right mindset. However, they don't have the financial education, the intelligence, financial that they need to scale through. And that's what the evidence shows that most of them collapse within 5 years. Okay. Thank you, Mr. David. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Any questions, any comments? Let me see the hands. Let me see if anybody have hands up. Okay. I guess we are good, right? No comment, no question. All right.
Somebody is asking whether if Mr. Matthew is coming online today with us.
No, we don't promote any author on this place. We are just here to read. So we are not bringing any author to our reading. Okay. All right. So the highest we do is to manage to read their books. Okay. Because if you do that, it looks as if we're promoting people. Here, we're just, is a social gathering. We're just reading and we're not promoting any author. The reason we read the books is because we have been able to grow to the books and validate that the books can add value to our social club. Thank you so much. All right, go ahead, Miss Cecilia.
So, Dr. Ruth, I have a question.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
looks like some of us, somebody like me, can get stuck on this the financial report or financial analysis that you are asking us to do. So, like the tax today, tax later, tax free. So, when I've been thinking about when I did mine, I don't have a tax today.
Okay.
And those are like the Roth, IRA, Roth this, Roth that. Now, my tax later and tax free are almost like 50-50. But that tax later part for me is mainly like on the real estate and some IRA. But I can, under normal circumstances, I would say I can move the IRA to a Roth, but I'm not qualified to do a Roth. So it's like I am stuck here.
So let's not use the word tax today. Let's call it taxable bucket. Call it taxable bucket. Okay, so let me
Okay.
share this. Remember the book where we started that assignment was on the power of zero, right? Robert
Yeah.
David McKnight. Okay, so if you look at that, let me see if I can see this. You see, so let's use this. Arrange it this way: taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. Okay, so look at the bucket that it says falls into each of these category. Okay, emergency fund. Okay, look at the taxable, then look at the tax deferred, what fall in there. Okay, and look at the tax free. And also, I believe that this author also mentioned it in page 6. Page 6 of this book we are reading. It says tax now, which is taxable. Okay, stocks, bond, mutual fund, savings account, certificate of deposit, checking account. They also, Miss Cecilia, at some point you have it. Your checking account, your savings account, if you have mutual fund, if you have stocks. Now crypto has been legalized, right? Guys, I hope you know that. Now you are allowed to, crypto becomes one of those buckets that your 401k can be assigned to. If you did not take control and know where they are assigning it for you. Guys, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Shine your eye. It's your money. It doesn't belong to nobody. It's yours. So, tax deferred, example, traditional IRA, 401ks, 403bs, annuities, pensions. Okay, that's the example that this author gave. Tax free. You have Roth IRA, permanent life insurance, municipal bond, college savings. College savings if you use it for college. If you don't use it for college, it becomes what? A taxable bucket. Okay? Becomes a bucket. Yes. So look at it from this lens. Okay, go back to that profile.
Okay.
Look at it from this lens. Okay? Good.
Okay.
Good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see. There's another person. Okay, Miss Becky, go ahead.
I just wanted to point out that the book actually says when you receive a match in a Roth 401k, the match is provided tax deferred. You, the employee, must pay taxes on the matched money. You can't get away from it. You switch your account from being a traditional 401k, you switch it to a Roth, and then turns out you still have to pay taxes on that matched money. It's just.
That is true, because the only thing you're switching over to the Roth is the area you contribute. Their own contribution still remain a taxable bucket that you going to pay.
Imagine.
But you, the one that becomes Roth, because I did it in 2020, my knowledge, my financial intelligence begin to grow. So I went in, I didn't know there was Roth 403B. So I called them. I was using one of those management companies that through my job provides. And can you imagine? For 10 years, I've never logged into these accounts. I don't know what is this. I don't have no login. So when my knowledge begin to increase and I begin to engage in my financial profile, so I called them. I said, how can I log into my account? They showed me. Now, first of all, I found out that I was matching. They were matching 6%. I was matching. I signed up that every year they have increased my match by 1%. I didn't know when I signed up that. First of all, I called them out on that. When you know better, I say, why did you say you signed up on so day? When they do all this employee awareness, where they gather all the employee, all these companies come around, they say, oh, go and meet human resources, go and meet this one. You're signing stuff that even the person telling you don't know what it is. It becomes Mugu leading the Mugu. Even the person telling you do not understand what both of you don't understand what they're doing. So one of those events, I signed up to increase my match. So every year my match will increase by 1%, but their own is capped at 6%. So only to find that I've gone to 8% already. Hey, Okay, I told them, how do I do that? They said, just remove the checkbox. I removed that. And I said, and I saw, guys, do you know that they have
Yeah.
three components?
How about you? I know the day's just
Okay. Do you know they have three components for you? When I log into that account in my 403B, I saw they have tax deferred, tax now, and Roth IRA. No, tax free and Roth IRA. You can also have a component that's tax free, but it's not Roth. It was when I logged in that I saw it. I was on the phone, I logged in, they're walking me through. I saw tax deferred, tax free, but that is not Roth. Remember, Roth comes with 5 years, you cannot touch anything in the first 5 years. Okay? Then Roth. Now they ask me which one I want. I say I want Roth. They say, okay, remove the checkbox here, put it here. That's it. Less than a second. Guys, less than a second can ruin your life or can make your life better. But somebody is doing it because for 10 years, I've never logged into that account. I worked there for 12 years of my life. Just imagine. So I removed that. That's now when I find out that even though they will still contribute their 6%, the only thing that is the Roth is my 6%. Their 6%, I still have to pay tax on it. I still have to pay tax on it. Guys, this is practical, no more theory. It's not theory. It's happening in real time. Guys, remember part of the assignment in our profile was what? To find out, go to your organization if you're still working, if you still have a job. There's nothing wrong with that. Get me right. We're not saying it's bad, but we're trying to get your brain to know that you need to start thinking for exit. You have the right to benefit from being an employer too. But before you exit, make sure your financial intelligence has gone up. But one of the assignments we gave ourselves is if you're still working or you own your business, find out what kind of retirement account do you have. If you're working, does your employer match? If they match, if they don't match, I don't even see the reason why you're matching, because you're just using your money to dash them to grow their own pocket. So if they match, how much are they matching? Okay. I know most of the time you call and they told you 100%, ask them 100% of what? Oh, they match 100%. 100% of what? That is what is your money. Your employer is not responsible for those retirement contributory accounts. You are the one. You can't hold them accountable for whatever the market risk is. Okay? So 100% of what? Of course, if they say 50%, like the author have explained, we have shared it over here based on the books we have read. Okay? 50%, which means you have to place 3% in order to get their what? Their 50%. If you match 100%, they match 50%. Some of them said, oh, you match this from this also day. Then they start matching this one. There are so many languages just to confuse you. Don't remain confused. And it's only those people that are confused that say something is a scam. Yes, you're a scam because, do you know the meaning of scam? Still confused about money. It's time to deliver yourself from that confusion. Bring whatever the language there. If you don't understand, bring it. You can bring it to the book club and read it. Let's hear. At least now we have an open ground to discuss, because it's the law. They didn't stop us from discussing. Right? Okay, read it. What do they match? Where you match? What is your financial objective? What is your goal? If your goal is to have stress-free, tax-free retirement, hear me. Stress-free, tax-free. Now I'm going to add one. Stress-free, tax-free, financial abundance, retirement. Yeah? I want you to write it down. Stress-free, tax-free. Okay? Stress-free, tax-free, and what? Financial abundance, retirement. It comes with work. It comes with what? Work. You're going to go do your financial profile. You're going to go check where your retirement are sitting. If you're already retired, please come and share with us what you're experiencing now so we don't make the mistake. Please. Okay? We don't make the mistake. All right.
Can you
Question.
please repeat that again? Stress-free, tax-free.
And financial abundance retirement.
Thank you.
If you're planning to do that, you must be the owner of your own financial family culture. You. Nobody. You can't hand it over to nobody. If you do, you're not going to achieve these three things. Stress-free, tax-free, financial abundance retirement. If you have 1 million in your 401k right now, and your tax bracket is going to be what? Know that it may not last 10 years. And there's an evidence that post-retirement, up to what? 20 years, 25, 30. And because of advancement in medical technologies and everything, people are living longer post-retirement. So if 1 million is only going to last you for 7, let's say the author said 12. Let's even say 12. You still have up to 8, 10, 20, 30 years to live. And my people, you must go back to work or you'll be a government property. Community people, please don't be that. Okay? All right. Next chapter, who wants to read for us? I didn't see any other hand up. Oh, sorry, I have a hand up. Amarachi. There's a hand.
Yes,
Amarachi.
Dr. Ruth, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. I have a question concerning the match. When you said the companies contribute, that we should contribute what they are contributing. Like, if you, just as you say, you didn't know you were adding 1% every time and you get to 8%. So that 8%, what happens to it? That's my question.
Okay, good question. Okay, that's an excellent question. All right. Remember, we're talking about balancing your portfolio, right? Taxable, tax deferred, and tax free. We are here on tax deferred. Most of the contributory account, except Roth IRA, is what? Except Roth is what? Is tax deferred. And the assumption is that we don't know what taxes are going to be in the future, right? Nobody knows. It could be low, it could be high. We don't know. But based on history, taxes has never gone down. Has always been up. But nobody can predict what the tax is going to be. It's based on our leaders' temperament. If they love you so much, it's based on who you voted in the parliament, right? The Congress. Are you blue or red? Whatever the case may be, they have the power to do what? Use the stroke of pen to manipulate. And also, there is one party we never call. There is one party. Who can remember? Let me come back here. Who can remember the book that we read that talked about the secrecy? Who can remember? The 6-man secrecy company. What did they call them? Who can remember? All right, Mr. Fed. Who can remember about Mr. Fed? Right?
Special interest.
Not special interest. The Fed. The federal, they call it, in my country, they call it our CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, right? I'm from Nigeria. In America, what do they call it? The Fed.
Yes.
You all know that the Fed is not under the control of the government. You all know that. They call them 6-month secrecy.
Is it the wealthy physician?
Yes, the wealthy physician. Yes, ma'am. You are a good reader. You are a good reader. Let me grab it. Let me see if I can find it. Hey, can you mute that person, please? We're in serious business here. Somebody is playing for us. So if you have this book, The Wealthy Physician, you're not going to see it in the market anymore. So get somebody that have it. You can take make a copy. So this book right here, chapter 5, if you have the American version, not the Canadian version, chapter 5 talks about what the Federal Reserve also known as the Fed. Before I read this book, when I hear the Fed, I thought it's the federal government.
You said it's the wedding physician or the
wealthy physician.
wealthy? Okay.
The wealthy physician. It was written by Benjamin Charles Chandler. Guys, don't go to look for it. It does not exist in the market anymore. Just to let you know. American version is not there. So you're gonna find who has the American version to make a copy. But
author's name?
Author's name, Benjamin Charles Chandler. Okay, the wealthy physician. So in this book, it talks about what? The Federal Reserve. Is the same Federal Reserve that manipulates inflation. And you will hear on television all the time that the government is negotiating with the Fed, whether to print more money or do all that kind of stuff. Okay? So those people, plus the government itself, plus your legislatures, your Senate, all of them can determine what happened. They can wake up, but nobody, even themselves, does not know how the vote is going to go. So nobody can determine what the taxes is going to be in the future. Nobody. Now, I'm writing to answer your question here. Okay? Now, if your money is sitting in the deferred bucket, there's nothing wrong with it. It's your choice. But if, like my own case, the amount is 6%, okay? And my own was 8%. Which means I was above the amount by 2%. Which means I'm increasing the amount of money that's sitting in the tax deferred bucket. That's what it means. I'm increasing the amount of money that's sitting in the tax deferred bucket. And if by the time I retire, some people, even I have seen some people that said they were matching 20%.
Yes.
I've seen some people that said they are matching 15. Their own, no, not their job is matching 3%. They are matching 20, 15. Because they say they don't want to pay tax today. There's no problem if that is your choice. But I hope you understand the implication of what it makes. Remember, there's no wrong or right. It's up to you. What is your financial objective? But if you're going to have tax-free, stress-free, financial abundance retirement, you want to balance these three buckets. You want to balance them. You don't want to have a lot of money in a tax deferred bucket as at the time of retirement because you don't know what taxes will be. It could be lower, you enjoy. It could be higher, but based on the history, it has always been up. So if history will repeat itself, it means that what? You are in a big soup. Okay? Now, let's assume by the time you retire, everything, you've put in everything. Guess what? If your taxes is at 30%, you have 100,000. And you want to live off of 100,000 every year. How much, let's say with 1 million, how much do you need to withdraw to make sure you have 100,000? That will tell you how long your money is going to last. It's simple math. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. So I'm right. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Guys, this is the area I love so much when we come to question and answer. Okay? All right. Okay, all the hands are down. Let's go back to our book. Chapter 5, personal pension. I love this. Personal pension. Who wants to read?
Caroline from Maryland.
Who?
Caroline from Maryland.
All right, go ahead.
Chapter 5, pension plans.
Oh,
In
pension
this chapter,
plans. Yes, pension plans. Go ahead.
In this chapter of the book, we will be talking about all things pension plans. Pension plans are a dynamic and more complex subject. It is crucial that you read this chapter. Many of you may have pension plans currently or from past employers, or if you are in certain sector of career paths, such as unions. I know that as a union iron worker, I have a pension. It is still there and it's still working for me and my future. Whether I am actively in the field working as an iron worker or I am doing what I am doing now and helping people in the trade get their financial house in order. I was in the field for 16 years, so I am fully vested. You may have a vested pension at a previous employer working for you too. Keep that in mind. Let's get into pensions and really dig into this. I believe this is very important subject. What is a pension plan? Pension plans are an employer plan that commits the employer to make regular contributions to a general pool of money set aside to fund retirement income for employees who are eligible after retirement. Pension plans used to be the gold standard for working class people in this country. The tables, however, have made a sad turn for the worse over the years, and pension plans have become increasingly rare and replaced with accounts such as 401k and other similar plans. What I will tell you next will piss you off, so be warned. I will also most likely catch some heat from people, but I am writing this book to bring out the truth, not the narrative of what you have been told. Why are pensions becoming extinct? Pensions are becoming rare and rare. The reason is that companies are looking out for their best interest over yours.
Companies are looking out for whose interest? Their
Yes.
own interest, not yours. Their own interest. Then who is looking for your own interest? Who will? You.
Yourself.
Who will look at all of us right now are graduating our children. They are graduating from school. They are entering workforce. Who is getting the attention to this? Now your 22-year-old just graduated. You want to talk to him. He say, "Mommy, I got this. I know this." They already know it all. Your 25-year-old, they already know everything. If you don't wake up and fasten your seatbelt, a one, just like the author is one and me, I'm one and two. You must be in charge of your own financial culture, your family financial culture. You must be the person that have the best interest of your own family financial culture. Nobody else. Okay? All right, go ahead.
I do not disagree with companies looking out for themselves.
Yep.
After all, they do need to stay in business. They need to make profit margins, and they need to have the ability to pay their employees enough to keep them.
Enough to keep them. They pay you enough to keep you. Okay? Enough to keep you to continue to help them solve the problems they have identified. Guys, there's nothing wrong in working. Those people find a problem, they want to solve the problem. But they're going to need people and they're using you. Can you, when you're working there, can you find a problem too that you can solve? Because the only way you can become an employer is when you're willing to contribute and solve a problem in a community. If you're not willing to solve a problem, have a job, stay where you are. Okay? If you're going to own a job, make sure your cognitive, your financial function is working very well. Okay? Go ahead.
They also need the financial resources to scale. This all takes money to make happen. That is not my issue. My issue is that they are only looking out for themselves and sacrificing your well-being in retirement for their gain. The truth is that companies decided that they don't want that kind of liability. So they started searching for ways to transfer the liability from them to the employee.
They transfer their own liabilities from them to you, the employee, who intentionally came to provide for your own family. But in the course of that, you're carrying another person's what? Liabilities. And most people carry it for 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. I hope somebody is getting angry to some point at this time.
Yep.
Huh? For 35, 40 years. Remember, they did not hold you title. It's an intentional slavery, an intentional one. Okay? I was reading something this morning. It said there is expensive slaveries. Some people have stayed enough, they become what? Expensive slavery. But it's the slavery that you put yourself in. Nobody did. But guess what? It's a nice place to be because you can learn how to deliver yourself if you can have an open mind and change your mindset. Okay? All right.
They started looking for ways to give themselves the upper hand, to give themselves as much as they could in tax deductions and company benefits and give their employees as little as they could legally get away with. The pension plan is and was an obligation for the company to give you a retirement income after retirement for the remainder of your life, no matter how long you live. They started searching for ways to transfer all liabilities, taxes, and volatility to their employees. They discovered some avenues with some very familiar tax codes that you are likely using. Tax code like the 401k, 403b, and other similar accounts. We will cover those in greater details later in the book. Vesting. With pension plans, there is a vesting period, which is the amount of time you must contribute to the fund before you are eligible to benefit from any portion of it. Often, that period is 1 year. Legally, it can be up to 7 years. If you are offered a pension plan, I recommend you make sure you inquire about the vesting period involved with that plan. If you leave the company before you are vested, you may be subject to losing a portion, if not all, of what you have accumulated in your company pension plan.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the vesting. Okay? Because that is another driving force. Vesting. Did you see that the law, you can vest for 1 year, right? You can vest for 1 year, but they give them room for up to 7 years. That's why most companies now play. Where I used to work, you have to be 5 years to say you are vested. 5 years. Now you begin to wonder why 5 years? Because the law gives them room to up to 7 years. So they now, the owner of the organization, make their own decision. And if you're coming to work with us and sign those papers we sign, even without reading them, then you're stuck. Okay? You're stuck. So if you're still here having a job, find out what is your vesting time, vesting period. You don't want to, your vesting period is 5 years and you're there 4 years and 11 months and you run away. Knowledge is important. Okay? Knowledge is important. Somebody remind me to talk about it, if the author didn't talk about it, to talk about what they do with defined benefit plan in terms of retirement and you leaving that job. Okay? Go ahead, man.
Pension funds. Defined benefit plans are made up of pooled funds from employers, unions, or other similar organizations and are most commonly referred to as pension funds. Pension funds are typically exempt from capital gains tax, which is great when they are accumulating value. Pension funds can be tax exempt at times, but most commonly they are tax deferred. That means you won't pay taxes now as it is accumulating, but you will pay taxes when you take distributions in the form of retirement income. The downside to paying taxes at the point of distribution is that we do not know what taxes will be in the future. Things indicate that taxes will likely go up between now and then. Don't you agree? If you do, How do you think that will affect the income amount you actually live on in retirement? Often in pension funds, the employee can add additional contributions, which can add increased stability to an ever-changing economic climate, since it is not solely based on asset returns. Businesses also can add additional contributions to these plans, as well as allowing them to get additional tax deduction. Ask yourself, though, would you rather position yourself to get tax advantages, or will you rather put your employer in the position to get tax advantages? My guess is that you would rather put yourself in that position. Am I right? If so, keep reading and you will learn how that is possible. Pension plans. Pension plans are often more complex and more expensive to set up for employers, so they are often dismissed and put aside. They are also more restrictive to the employee. Employees often have no say in any aspect of the investment decisions of the people managing the fund, thus leaving you, the employee, with nothing but blind trust, hopes, and dreams that they make the best decision for you. I am not saying not to trust them or that they are not worth trusting, but I have been in those shoes, and it was not the most advantageous position for me. I decided to seek out other routes that will be covered in greater detail in this book. Let me tell you, I have never been happier with any other financial decisions than implementing those strategies. Also, with pension plans, there are restrictive determining factors on what you will be able to benefit from in retirement. Things like your final salary and length of employment. So, if your salary was capped, your retirement income will be capped. If you didn't work there long enough, your income will be restricted. Let me ask you this question. Is that in your best interest? Lastly, you have no access to use the plan before the age of 59 and a half for any reason. If you do not like that, keep reading, because we will show you alternatives in participating in these plans if you do not feel these are best for your financial plans and objectives.
Okay.
Oh,
So you are, again, ownership. Okay. If you don't like all these restrictions that is attached to the regular pension that is out there, now it's time for you to make decisions and walk away from what is not working in your best interest. Okay? If it's not working for you, it's not for you. Okay? Go find the one that works for you. Okay? Someone else who can take over from Bola, who else wants to read?
it's just a couple of lines. Let me finish
Let
the
me see.
chapter.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Finish it, Bola.
Other deciding factors to think about when looking at plans, such as pension plans and pension funds: your age, your current health, and your projected longevity of life, your current financial situation, which you will be equipped to start changing by the end of the book, your projected rate of return, your risk tolerance, if you have inflation protection, if you have market correction protection. I really hope this chapter helps you better understand pensions and things you think about when looking to utilize one. As I mentioned above, this book is about bringing your information in a way you can understand, so you can make educated financial decisions. To continue to learn, move on to the next chapter.
Yes. Any questions so far? Any comment? Any questions? Any comment? None? Okay. All right, let's move on. Who else wants to read for us? Chapter 6.
I have a question.
Yes, what is your name and where are you calling in from?
My name is Gifty Edu. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Okay.
My question is with the vested one. So if you work, that means if you work for a company, and for my understanding, you have to wait till you have, let's say the company vested year is 5 years. So you have to wait till after 5 years before you can leave the company to get your benefit. But my question, if you have to contribute to the let's say 401k, do you also have to wait till you are 5 years before you can contribute, or the first year you can start contributing to your 401k?
Good question. When it comes to vested did a lot with defined benefit plan and defined contribution plan. Okay. Now, defined contribution plan, which you mentioned 401k, it also depends on the company when they want you to start contributing. Okay. However, the companies does not really restrict so much on the 401k, but based on the law. The law says you have to be 59 and a half in order to withdraw. However, if you decide to withdraw before then, you can still do so, but it comes with penalty of 10%. Okay? 10% penalty plus your state and federal income. Now, let's assume you have worked there just for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Okay? You can withdraw from your money if you want to, if you're ready to pay the penalties. But to vesting only applies to what the company is giving you. Like I said, where I work, the vesting period was 5 years. Okay. Hey, where my host people? Okay. So that being said, my company gives, then when I was working, they have defined benefit plan. In order for me to participate in that, okay, and with their pension that they control, I have to be there for 5 years. But they also have 403B that is not a defined contribution plan, but that is not defined benefit plan, but a defined contribution plan. That one, I have the control to access the money if I'm willing to deal with what? The consequences. Okay? Does that help?
Yeah, it answered it, but I'm not asking the question when I can take the money out. My question is that when I can contribute, do I have to wait to be 5 years in that company before I start, or I can start in the first year?
You can only start according to the company rule.
Companies, okay, rule.
Yes, if they say, oh, within 6 months of work, you have the benefit of getting a 401k, 403, that's when you start. If you say some of them start right away, some of them 3 months, some of them 9 months, they want to watch you and see whether you're a good fit or not. So it depends on each company's rules. Okay. But vesting does not have to do with contribution.
Okay.
The vesting has to do with what?
The benefits.
The benefit. Okay. To take out. Okay.
All
That's
right.
what vesting does. Good question.
So I'd like to add something about, like you said, when you go to a company or you're working for a company, they usually do annual review, like companies coming, or when you are doing the orientation on your first, when you get applied to a job or hiring, what we have to be careful, we need to read. And because it happened to me, I was working per diem at a company. I didn't know all the time they were sending me statements about money, and I know that I work there per diem, and I'm not contributing to any retirement or anything. But I was receiving this, and I didn't pay attention. So I wanted to go back to school to continue my education, and I left the company. So the the statement stopped coming. So I called them. I'm like, what happened? And they said, oh, you were not vested, or you had to wait till 5 years. Meanwhile, I left the job 4 years working there per diem, 4 years plus some months. But I needed only about 3 months so that I could have claimed that money. I lost the money because I didn't read. I didn't know what was going on. I just keep on working. So all that money that company was giving to me, I couldn't wait for that 5 years. I didn't know. Not that I couldn't wait. I didn't know. So we need to be very careful, like Dr. Ruth is saying. When you start a job, you got to know what the benefit and everything. We need to be vigilant, educate our families, and let them also know. That's what I want to add.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. 4 years and 7 months. Just 3 months. Okay? Guys, if you think ignorance is good, and if you think knowledge is expensive, wait until you see the price of ignorance. The price of why is even bad is that ignorance will leave you with a regret that only you will be carrying around. Except now that we have created a forum where we read, we can share these things. Only you will be carrying it in. And when you try to talk to your brother and say, this is my mistake, they kind of dismiss you somehow, some way. Okay, guys, we cannot continue to be smart people. Let's become intelligent. Okay? Smart people learn from their mistake. Intelligent people learn from other people's mistakes. So try to learn from other people's mistakes. Don't make the same mistake again. Okay? Don't. My people, my own family will not. I don't know about you. Okay? All right. Thank you. Any other comment or question? I have Kalinga.
Yes, Dr. Ruth. I also wanted just to contribute because before I started paying attention to reading books like the ones we are reading, I never knew that, the vesting period and the waiting period affect us so much. And I've discovered that this is one of the number one reason why most of us don't even have enough money saved up for retirement. So now what I tell even my family, myself, even people I'm encountering with, is before you see that, when you see that job you're trying to apply to, and when you apply to it, you go through the interview process, you always have to ask them, what is the waiting period? Meaning, how long am I going to wait before I start contributing to my retirement? Because I've had jobs where you have to wait for a year before you start contributing to your retirement. And as we know, when it comes to retirement, time is everything. Then you also have to make sure you understand the vesting period. Like, for example, for my current company, everything I've contributed toward my retirement and they are matching, I had to wait for 4 years before it vested. So now most people, they just jump ship like job hopping every time, every year, but they are forgetting, they don't care about their retirement. And most of the time it's because they don't understand it, they don't know. And when you come to the retirement age, you have nothing saved up because every time you were changing jobs, you are not getting whatever your employer was matching. So, I just wanted people to understand that when you look for a job, you find a job, ask for the waiting period. How long are you going to wait to start contributing? And always know the vesting period so that you plan ahead of time so you don't lose out a lot of money in retirement.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, now you see the education things we need to share with our kids going into workforce. If they are not here hearing us, are coming. Waiting period is different from vesting period. That's what she's saying. Waiting period is how long are you going to wait to start benefiting from the so-called assumed benefit they are giving you. The vesting is how long are you going to be there so that by the time you leave. So you see how much Gifty, you don't want to be like my sister Gifty, right? It's not her fault, but she didn't have the knowledge. 4 years and 7 months. That deals with vesting. Okay? Go ahead, Miss Christie.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something that I recently found out from work that also affect people's vesting period. I had a coworker who was pregnant and had a baby and was off work for like 7 months. So we have what they call step increase, which means every year you have a little percent of increase in your pay. So because she was off work for 7 months for that during the time of delivery, when she came back, her actual period of step increase was delayed because she was off work for 7 months. So people need to be careful when you are taking off from work, it's also affecting your vesting period. So she's now gonna lose, she needs to have another 7 months added before she can get that step increase. So that's another thing that I found out at work that affect people's vesting time. So you calling off all the time, your vesting period is only calculated with the hours that you work. When you are not working, none of those vesting time is accumulating for you. So we need
Yes,
to also
ma'am.
know that, yes.
Thank you for bringing that up. I actually put it down on my paper. When you go on FMLA, it impacts your vesting period. So if you are counting, you started work and this month you're going to be 5 years. No, make sure that within that 5 years, you do not take any off. Like
Yes.
FMLA, pregnancy, all that. Yes, it's okay. They'll give it to you. But they recover it back. So the vesting period is based on the hours you're actually putting to work. So that is why you see that we're coming, both of us came into work immediately, the same month, but we are not 5 years. For example, using my own organization, we're supposed to be 5 years this year, but you're not 5 years this year. Why? You went on FMLA maybe due to that knee surgery, or the head surgery, or eye surgery, or whatever surgery, or pregnancy, okay, or pregnancy. Any of those impact your vesting period.
What of job injury, Dr. Rod?
It doesn't matter as long as you're off the work. Okay, so what is your responsibility is go find out, because I cannot tell you what your own say exactly. Go back and say, I want to read information about the vesting period, especially if you have taken one of those FMLAs, okay, or you're out of work because of a job-related injury. Ask them, how does this impact my vesting period? You need to start asking those questions now. Thank you,
Our
Ms.
is the vesting period the
welcome.
same as years of service towards retirement? This is just a general question.
Yes, to some level. I would say no. Vesting period is a language that your organization use to know how long you're going to work for them before you can say you have retired. Like me, I am retired from corporate America. Okay, but I worked there for 12 years, but the vesting period in that organization is 5 years. Now that I retired, how much they're going to pay me that I work for 12 years, because they have defined benefit plan for us. Okay, they have pension for us as at then. I was told they have taken it out now. All right. So how much they're gonna pay me in my retirement will be different to someone that quit after that 5 years. Someone that stays 7 years, how much? But you must be 5 years and above to participate in that retirement. But how much they pay you is gonna be a little bit different. Okay. Also, there are some laws. So that I would say kind of yes and no, in the sense that there are some laws that's also get implicated in that place. But vesting period is company specific rules of when you will participate in their pension. Okay. How long you have to be to participate in receiving, not in contributing, receiving. Okay. I hope that helps. I don't know if anybody have another answer to that or another contribution. Oh,
Yes, Dr.
I have
Ruth.
my hand
Yes,
up,
I,
Dr.
I
okay,
have
Ruth.
my.
hold on. Let me go to the hands. I see the hands up. All right. Miss Kriti, thank you so much for bringing that up. Matilda, go ahead.
Yeah.
Matilda, go ahead.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Dr. Ruth, I don't know. When Miss Christie was talking, I got that angle in me like, okay, so somebody who is pregnant is supposed to stay there because they don't want to miss the benefit. So this company, they keep, like, I don't know, nothing is for our own benefit, because if I have to stay for me to benefit anything, then that doesn't really accommodate my family.
It's a transactional benefit, sister. You give
Oh,
me,
yeah.
I give you. You don't give me, I don't give you. So, and it was clear, it's transactional. The day you go, our transactional agreement ends. Contract. They give you contract to sign when you started, right? You agree that ABC, that's contract. We're in contract. And that contract has to stand. Why are we in contract? Legally. Okay? You don't want is employment at will, right? Put in your resignation. Bye. See you another time. It's unfortunate, my sister. This is where we are. Dr. Ola, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Grace.
Good morning.
I wanted to buttress the point that our employers, they're not there to look out for our interests. We have to. And when we do, let's get it on paper, not just word of mouth. So I took care of a lady last week, pregnant. I'm a nurse practitioner, everybody. And this lady was so happy. She works at McDonald's. She wants me to give her a paper. My employer said, if you give me a paper, they will let me go off of work for 12 weeks. They will pay me for 12 weeks. All I could advise her is, please go back to your human resources and ask them. When, number one, you have to get the paper from them, not from me. And that is one clue to me that her employer wasn't looking out for her, because they should have told her where to go to get the paper. But rather, they just told her one quick one, go to your doctor, they will give you paper, which is not true. And I'm telling her, do you think you want to take this 12 weeks now, or you want to take it after you deliver? So you have time to take care of your baby. Oh, no. They told me they will pay me. And I'm like, oh my God, this woman doesn't understand the system yet. She's an immigrant. I said, go ask again, no, and bring the paper. Maybe when I read your paper, I will understand what your company is saying. But from what I know, number one, I don't think, because she was so happy telling me this, I don't think she knows that when you're on disability, you don't get full pay. You only get 60%. If she knows, she won't be so happy. I said, okay. So I'm waiting for her to bring back the paper from her employer. She doesn't know that all the power I have is to recommend. Okay, you can give up to 12 weeks, but it doesn't mean the employer will pay her. I am yet to see a company in this US that will pay you for being out for 12 weeks. They will pay you 6 weeks for your maternity. You can take the other 6 weeks with no pay, or if you have vacation to use. So let's get it on paper, my people. They're not looking out for us. It's our job to look out for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. When they are paying you see how they create. But if you look at it, it's not really their fault. Even the person communicating this, the so-called human being in the human resources, have no clue what we're talking about. They are just employees, just like you.
Dr. Ruth, sorry to interrupt you. To put this in perspective, this woman is only 4 months pregnant, and she wants to take her 12 weeks now. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. 4 months pregnant. We still have 5 months to go. Guys, knowledge is power. We still have 5 months to go. Do you see that? So what she's saying makes sense. Again, we can only help our children with the information we have. Okay? If we don't have enough information, these kids will struggle.
Excuse me, can I come in?
Yeah, hold on, ma. Okay. To struggle. So I'm happy these things are coming out. Go ahead, ma'am, if you're contributing to what I just said.
Yeah, the lady, I just want to add it to what the lady is saying. She said she told her client to go for a paper. Me, I have a paper to prove. I was living in New Jersey and I moved to Maryland. I transferred from Jersey to Maryland, and they told me how much they're going to pay me in a paper. But when I came in here, they did not give me the pay. I told them, I have this on paper. They said, no, even if you have a paper and they say no, it's still no, they will not give it to you. That's the same thing I'm facing right now with a paper. But they were still not giving me the money that they're supposed to give it to me. So paper is also not nothing.
My people, you can see, even with paper, there's still some negotiation. Because what? There's a leadership in place to fight for the interests of your employer. Okay? Man, it's mind-blowing. Before we don't have where we have all this conversation happening. Imagine who is not on this call this morning. Okay? You think your employer will organize something like this for you to come and learn how to help yourself in your employer environment? It will never happen. So I appreciate all of you here There's reading and learning and appreciating this. Thank you so much. Miss Elizabeth, go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm calling from the great state of Massachusetts.
Okay.
I'm retired, but not tired.
Okay.
And I got some paperwork from my company about pension. Not many companies are paying pension nowadays, but I'm a lucky one. In fact, the companies stopped paying. I was grandfathered into it. So my question is, should I take that pension lump sum or should I spread it? Because I'm looking at the schedule of the amount that they will be paying me every month. And when I calculated it, I'm like, okay, how many years do I have to live? I don't even know. I don't have control over that. And I'm saying, am I going to change myself or should I just take it lump sum? And about the paperwork, we don't read. You have to read the fine print when company is giving you, telling you, we are giving you this or bring that. Or anytime they give you anything to sign, you need to read thoroughly. You need to read the fine print is there so you don't make error or you don't make any mistake. So my first question is what I want you to answer for me, ma'am.
All right. So now, thank God you're fathering. Congratulations for taking pension in America. It does not exist in
It
most
doesn't exist anymore.
organizations anymore. But now the question, do they give you option to
Yes.
take lump sum for that? If they give you option to do that,
Yes.
you have alternative. There's a tax code called 575. Okay? 575. That tax code, find out, first of all, go to the person that gave you this Zoom call, this Zoom, right here, right now. Go to that person and said, Dr. Ruth said I should ask you to work with you to see if you can take that lump sum because you're still going to pay the taxes when they give it to you, correct?
Yes.
So tell them if they can give it to you lump sum without you paying any tax right now, and you move it, roll it over to that 575, which is called fixed index annuity. Then, if you move it there with your lump sum, you are guaranteed income for life as long as you live. I hope I'm very clear on that.
Yes.
If they cannot help you, call me. My number is 469 487 3469. Yes, I'm a licensed financial professional, mostly in all United States, except Hawaii. Okay?
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
So, but yes, if you're not sure how
Please
long
repeat that number. I'm sorry. 469
469 487 3469. If they give you the ability to take it lump sum, I will, if I'm in your situation, I'm making recommendation, I don't advise you. These are all educational, right?
Yes.
If I'm in your situation, I'm going to take my lump sum today. I will roll it over. Especially ask them, I want to roll it over without them taking taxes. But if you still want to pay, it's up to you. You have to have that conversation. I will roll it over to Internal Revenue Code, the same code in this America. 575, fixed index annuity. Income fixed index annuity for that matter, because you're retired.
Income fixed.
And I am guaranteed income for life as long as I live. Okay?
Yes.
That is what will do. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Reverend Doctor.
Thank you very much, Princess Dr. Ruth. My hand went up because we were talking about taking off.
Well, I think you're a little bit far away from your speaker.
Maybe. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, this vesting, I'm not sure it refers to those of us working here who are looking at the one we will receive.
Who are those of you?
The WFG.
Oh, okay, stop right there. Stop
No,
right
we are not
there. So
mentioning.
this is a social organization. We're not talking about any organization. We're not representing any organization. We're not representing any author, any industry. We're just having to read the books and generalize the conversation with. So we don't have company specific. Okay.
Yeah. So my fear is whether Egon will hold us responsible if we take some time off.
Okay. So that question does not belong in this environment.
Okay.
That
Thank
very
you.
question. But you can call me outside. We can talk about that.
Thank you.
Good. Let me see if there's another hand up that I haven't called. Ugochi.
My question is based on the rolling over, can anyone who is not up to 59 and have rolled over?
Yes.
In this situation?
Yes. You can roll over if your organization. Now, rolling over your money from one pension or retirement account to another is determined on your age. Number one. It's determined whether you're still working there or not.
Okay.
If you're working there, they will not, the law helps them for them not to allow you to roll out. So it's always recommended legally for you to roll over when you're not working there anymore. If you're still working there in that organization, you will not roll out nothing. In fact, some people, okay, you have to have, so this organization, the law gives them capacity to play around. But roll over, if you're retired, you can roll over your money to anywhere. If you're no more working there, you can roll over. But if you're working there, hell no. Okay? So if you're no more in that organization, you can go roll over your money. Sometimes it's hard, but you have to put your feet down. It's your money. But while you're working there, the rollover is a no-no. Is a no-no. Sorry. Too bad. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Let me see if there's another hand. Dr. Ola, is that a new hand or old hand?
Oh, sorry, old hand.
Old hand. So, okay, my people, I hope you guys are getting value in this book club, right? Imagine those who miss coming to book club today, especially those people that are fighting between their bed and their life. Okay? Those are the people that missed a lot.
Dr. Ruth, I think Ms. Ugochi had a question. She had her hand up.
No.
She was the one that
already
just
asked.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Dr.
So,
Ruth, please, I have a question.
yes, ma'am, go ahead.
So I thought when some people, they are still working, maybe they spend like 5 or 7 years at their place of work, they can still be allowed to roll over.
No. It depends. It depends on what their age. Remember, we say age is a big factor, right?
Yes.
Let's say that person will work there for 5 years and they are 60 years old, right? The law said they can take their money. But some organization mandate you will never take the money out until you leave them. So you have to find out what your own says. You can withdraw money, does not mean you're rolling money out. Some organizations allow for what they call in-house distribution, hardship distribution. Whatever distribution you can get, you can. Or you need to find that. But that is
That
totally
would be
different
tax.
from rolling over. Okay? From rolling over from one qualified account to another qualified account. Okay? So, but some company will say, if you're here 5 years, you can have in-house distribution. If you're in the military, you have TSP. You can have hardship distribution, but you still have to come and prove the hardship distribution. You have to prove it.
Will that be tax-free?
No, there's no tax-free around here, my sister. There's no tax-free in America.
Okay.
Okay? There's no tax-free anywhere unless that money is, you already pay tax on it, maybe Roth. Okay? But even at that Roth, you have to wait for 5 years. That's the law to even distribute money out of it. Okay? But after that 5 years, you can take money if you have Roth to a certain percentage. So, but if you haven't paid tax on anything, her sister, anytime you mess around with it, you're going to pay tax based on how you take it. If you have 401k, you take loan. Nobody pays tax on loan anywhere in the world. It doesn't, in America or Canada. No. Nobody, if it's loan, it means you're paying it back. So nobody pay tax on loan. That's why I was watching something. It was so fascinating to know that, let's assume you have money in your 401ks or your stock. You can actually borrow against it. Pay zero in taxes. Okay? Guys, so that is the only way you can take money tax-free is if you take it as a loan. If you're going to take it as a withdrawal, there are no tax. You must pay your tax. Uncle Sam doesn't work for free. Okay? But before I answer the next question, guys, we have book club, group me. If you're not there, ask the person that said somebody can put it in the chat. I also have put in the chat the YouTube. If you want to go back to replay it or share with somebody, okay? So they want to watch it. You can follow me up on Facebook, can follow me up on TikTok, whatever. If you have questions, I do come out on Facebook to answer questions. If you have questions, you can inbox me on my Facebook page. I will definitely come and answer it in the public of Facebook without mentioning your name, and somebody else might learn from it. If you have questions, you can ask it on Group Me. Guys, let's educate ourselves. Look at what we are discussing here, okay? Let's educate ourselves and take ourselves to the next level. Okay? Our next book club is going to be on the 20th. Our next book club is going to be on the 20th of September. Okay? 8 a.m. The same Zoom link, guys. The same Zoom link. Okay? The same Zoom link. Okay? And start thinking, I'm going to bring 2 books that we're going to select which book we're going to.
What time? You didn't say the time. Did you give a time?
The same time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. Okay? 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. All right? Once again, my number is 469-487-3469. But otherwise...
I raised my hand up, but
Okay,
I don't know.
I was
don't know if
coming
you...
there. I wanted to give that announcement before I come back to the hands again. Okay?
Okay.
So, that is all we have, guys. We're in finance. This month is Life Insurance Awareness Month. Life Insurance Awareness Month. This month. So, please go educate someone. If you know someone who do not have knowledge of life insurance in the United States and Canada, educate them. You can send them my way, I will educate them, or send them to the person that give you this Zoom link to educate them, or connect them to where they can be educated. It's called LAM. Do something for your community. Give back. Okay? Give back to your community. And this month also, for most of you that know me, is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Okay? If you have the heart to provide, to advocate, to prevent suicide in our community, especially among our kids, okay? They say every 10 seconds somebody dies by suicide. Let's prevent that. Suicide is not the option. If you are in crisis, please dial 988 if you're in the United States. If you're in Canada, find out the emergency. Please don't kill yourself. It's not the option. Let's have that conversation. I know you're stressed out. Suicide is a behavioral issue. It's not a psychiatric issue. However, psychiatry can do what? Trigger behavioral issues that can arise. So let's prevent suicide. Let's prevent mental health breakdown. And we have seen there is correlation between lack of money, financial miseducation, and what? Mental health breakdown and suicide. There's strong correlation. So based on that, we're going to do a walkathon. I have a foundation called for Comfort Foundation. We're going to do a walkathon on the 13th. It's going to be 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay? 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. 2 hours. You're going to walk in your neighborhood. You're going to walk in your neighborhood. Please help me work for someone to prevent suicide. Walk in your neighborhood, pick up your children, just walk around. We're going to walk, join us on Zoom. Then walk around in your neighborhood. Then we'll come back to the Zoom at 8 o'clock. I'm going to have a speak. And if you're here, is in your heart, you like to give back, you want to talk about suicide prevention, or you are a consumer, or you've been impacted by suicide, and you want to share your story and encourage someone, please reach out to me through my number so we can add you to the speakers on the 13th, which is next Saturday. Okay? Otherwise, let's go back to the hands that are up. Okay? But if you want to participate in all that, please send me a text. DM me a text and said, I want to talk about my experience, my family member, my friends, my colleagues, or I want to talk about suicide prevention strategies. Send me a text. Okay? All right, Chioma, go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Rhodes. Thank you. This is a beautiful opportunity. I want to, when we're talking about rolling over, and we said if you have retired from a job, you can roll over, we're advising the other lady. I'm also
Recommended.
asking,
I don't advise, I only
we
recommend.
are recommending, you were recommending. I also want to find out if you had left a job for a while and your 401k is over there, you are not even paying attention to it. Is it okay for you, even if you are not 59 and have to roll it over to annuity?
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay.
If you have left any job, it doesn't matter you left them 20 years ago, 100 years ago, 1 million years ago, and now you wake up, your brain has, your financial intelligence has gone up. You know what to do. All you need to do is what? Go do your rollover. And guys, let me tell you, if you're here, you don't even have a license, do you know you can do your own rollover? You can do it by yourself. Contact me. I will show you how to do it yourself. You don't even need anybody to do it for you. But you have to have some piece of license in your hands. So if you don't have one, reach out to me. I will show you how to do it yourself. Guys, it's time for us to take over. I did my own. The day I retired, June 21st, the next month I rolled over my 403. I can't roll over the other one because I'm not 59, but I roll over my what? My 403, and I got paid. All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Monique.
Hello, Dr. Ruth. Good morning, and thank you for all of this valuable education. I just need you to share the link of the video that was played at the beginning of the session, please.
Okay, sure. I will do that. I will do that. Dan.
Good morning, Dr. Root, and thanks for this wonderful session. I'm from Maryland, and there was something I didn't quite get. There is someone I know, she's in the nursing profession, still working. She's 62. So her 401k is absolutely huge fruit. But she's still working. Can she roll over into a 575, or can she just roll over into another fixed index annuity?
Good.
If she's still working.
She's 62. Yes, the law allows her to take her money. However, does the organization allow her? So that's what she needs to find out. Because I have some professors working somewhere, they want to roll over their money. They tell them, sorry, I know you are more than 60 years. I know you're more than 59, but you're working for me, right? So I decide what happens to your money. So until you disengage with me, you can roll nothing out. Okay. Yes, the law, they have passed the restriction of the law, but now is the restriction of the organization. So let them find out. I have rollover, I have helped some people roll over their money, even though they're still working there, but they are 59 and a half and above. Yes.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm going to go ahead.
you, Dr. Ruth. I have a colleague that worked somewhere in another company before joining us in where I'm working right now. And her 401k, she said, I was telling her about rolling it over. She was like, no, I'm not going to roll it over because it's safe in an account that the previous company she was working for has put it in. I was trying to ask her what account is that. She said it's in a bank. It's saved there. She was like very sure about her money. So I'm trying to tell her, do you know you're paying someone to take care of that money where it is right now? But if you roll it over to a particular account, you won't be paying all that and you won't pay tax. So she was like, forget about that. I want my money in 401k. It's going to be there. So, and she said again that she is on kind of forgiveness period or a grace period or something. So I was like confused on that situation. So I want to ask, is there any time that your 401k will be like while you're working with a company and you get to a forgiveness period that you won't be paying the 2% that will pay to managers to manage your money?
So that is a good question you ask, and that question comes with so many baggages. Okay, but I only talk on one, grace period. There are some organizations that also have a limitation on when you can access that money. That is not vesting period. It's not waiting period. But grace period says, if you work here and leave at this time, they will not allow you to touch that money until that period passes. Okay? Again, it boils back to reading what your organization say. Okay? So there is what they call grace period. When they cannot do, you can do A, B, C, D. There are certain things that exist. There's certain language that exists. There's some okay? But the other part of it. Okay, can somebody mute that person? But the other part of it is what? Is that we can talk the other ones off the line. If they want their money to be there, remember we're talking about ownership. If that's what makes her happy and that will help her get to her destination, what about that? Just leave her alone. Let her go do her thing. All right? Okay. You're welcome. Chinyere. Chinyere. Chinyere Mundo.
Yes, I'm meeting Princess Dr. Ruth.
Yes.
Thank you today, even though I missed the sweetest part. Please, I have a question. Assuming I'm working somewhere, I did not sign up for a 401k. Is it possible the company has a 401k for me?
Good question. Good question. You did not sign up for 401k. Okay.
Okay.
Now, or 403, whatever the benefit is. Number one question, why is that person not signing up? That's a discussion of another one. Most of the people don't sign up due to ignorance. Okay. But number two, there are some organizations that say they're going to give you one thing or the other, whether you sign up or not. So it boils back to the organizational what? Rules and regulation. Okay. If their standard is we're going to give everybody contribution, whether you contribute or not, then you're lucky. If you're not, you don't have it. Okay. So it boils back to what the rules and regulations are. But if you're here, guys, you're an employee somewhere, find out whether your organization have all these contributory for retirement account. If they do, and they are matching it, guys, matching is free money, but the recommendation is for you to match what your organization matches. If they do 2%, get the 2%. If you want to, it's not mandatory. Okay, but some people don't even sign up because they don't even understand what it is and they're not ready to engage in the conversation. Guys, not engaging in the conversation is not a way to manage risk. You have to engage in the conversation and figure out how to manage your risk. Ignoring the risk increases your risk level, period. Okay? All right. Afeni, can you unmute?
Yes, good morning, Dr. Ruth, and thank you for this very insightful information on pension. I just wanted to let this lady that has just asked a question that I was that ignorant when I joined. I started working for a certain company, and somehow I told the HR lady to sign me up for the contribution for 1K. She started and she stopped. Then when I was leaving the company, I wanted to check how much the company had been contributing for me. I found nothing because they were supposed to be putting in money. I found nothing. They had actually stopped. So what you're saying about being cautious and checking from time to time about your finances in HR, because they really don't care. It's up to you to follow up. And I thought I signed up, and I finally found that I missed out on all the contributions from the company because they were not. And then, of course, the other thing is they give you the option. The new company gave me the option of 401k and 403b. And because I did not know that the 401k is, you have to, it's the one that you contribute until you're vested. I signed up for it again, and I signed up for that and for also the 403, and I said, okay, take this percentage for the 401k and this percentage.
Okay, I guess we lost her. So what she's trying to say is to have everybody pay attention, read, understand what is going on, and if you're asking someone to do something for you, make sure you follow through to know that they actually did it.
Same both, but now I understand from the book, I am understanding that the 401k you have to be vested, and the 403 is under my total control. And that's what I wanted to tell this lady, that you give you papers when they're onboarding you, and they give you the papers and you are supposed to sign up. And if they don't, you are supposed to ask for them.
Okay. So now you said something, my sister. Let me redirect you on that. Your 401k, your 403, they are all the same brothers. They are the same. It depends on where you work. Now, there are some defined benefit plan, pension, that also call 403b. So if they have 403b, find out whether it's defined benefit plan or defined contribution plan. That is the only the difference you have to clarify. The 401k is yours. The 403b is yours. If they are what? Contributory, you are responsible for all of them. Okay? So you need to know your 403 because I see 403b, 457. These two things can be confusing because they can use the same terminology in defined benefit plan. They can use the same terminology in defined contribution plan. If your company say they have 403b, they have 457, find out is that defined contribution or defined benefit. They use the language defined corp. Once they say defined corp, know that you're responsible for it, not your employer. And they are the same. Okay? All right. All right, my people.
Dr. Ruth, I still have this.
Who is that?
Ugochi.
Ugochi, you're the last speaker for today.
Now, my question is, are we given the right to protect soldiers even though they have skill? Can we still protect them?
That question is not in the right place, but I'm going to say something because you asked. Okay. The military people have what they call TSP, which is the same thing like the federal government workers. They are all in the same radar. Just to let you know, to some level. Before, military used to have defined benefit plan. They have changed it. I think they're in what they call 70-30 or what. Okay? So if you're going to help non-military, also help military, everybody are first in the same shadow. Okay? We are all in the same shadow. So sit down with them and go over what they have and see how you can help them if you have the capacity to help anyone. Okay? All right. My people, thank you all so much for coming. It's been an amazing day. We made it through. And I see the same people that have been on camera from the time we started to this one. You all guys are so amazing. Okay? Remember once again, if you are a promoter of mental health promotion and suicide prevention, please reach out to me so you can see how you can participate. It's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Go to work, help somebody understand the American financial system, help your community, help your church people, your children, your neighbors, teach them. If you want to be one of our speakers in the awareness walkathon, please, I want all of you here to join us in the walkathon. I will put the link in the group me. If anybody want to participate, you're gonna wake up, wear your sneakers, wear your pants, let's walk and pray and talk about suicide, and you join us on the Zoom from wherever you are to learn. Otherwise, I want to say thank you so much and have a nice day. See you guys on the 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Dr. Ruth.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Ruth.
Dr. Ruth.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank
Well,
you,
bless
Dr.
you,
Ruth. Have a
Dr.
nice
Ruth.
day.
I'm yelling because I'm excited. Thank you.
Self-talk. You've seen how just 3 days of intentional, disciplined language can start to change the way you feel, the way you think, the way you move. But now I need you to take an even deeper step, because this is where most people miss it. It's not just about replacing negative words with positive ones. It's about changing the role of that inner voice. For too long,